you, Golf Club members. Here we are on a beautiful Thursday morning. I've got a special treat for you this morning. I've got course architect Graeme Grant, who's going to take us through the 3 holes, 14, 15 and 16, and from a course designer's point of view, give us the philosophies around designing the hole. Welcome, Graeme.
Thanks, Matt.
Now, here we are, Graeme, on hole 14. This is the first hole that we actually completed. Standing on the tee, what was your thoughts and ideas regarding designing this hole?
Well, Matt, with any of the holes, we try to set them up so that the average golfer and the better golfers and the ladies, all the golfers at the club, have a certain challenge when they play the hole.
Yep.
So with this one, we've left the opening to the green quite wide, and for those that want to run it in, there's a little slope there that will feed the ball onto the front of the green.
Yep. And
for the better players, there's the challenge of carrying the bunker and trying to get it close to the pin. Mm-hmm. The green is on a diagonal angle, so that anything that's hit too strong carrying the bunker and offline will feed off the green and into the swale at the back left. Same applies at the front of the green. If the shots are hit too strong or too strongly, then the hollows and the undulations around the green will come into play and give people a variety of chip shots or pitch shots to play in order to get it up and down. There'll be some difficulty around the green, which is what I like to see if you miss the green, so that you've got to play a good shot in order to get it close and get your par.
Mm-hmm. And you've moved the green to the right slightly?
The green's gone to the right. There was another. You prompted me really in that there was a particular problem with the old 14th and the left-hand side and going to the 15th tee. The access was bad. There was never the opportunity to grow good turf. Mm-hmm. So we've moved the green to the right, opened that area up, taken the hazard away, and allowed people to spread their traffic as they go. And that's a pretty important thing, or an important point to make, and that is that when people play the hole and walk from the green to the tee, they spread their traffic so that the turf doesn't come under too much stress. If they walk off the green in single file, they'll create a path or a track, and they won't get the benefit of the
Yep.
work we've done.
Yep.
So we'd like them to spread their traffic as much as they can.
Yeah, perfect. And now looking from the tee, the hole cosmetically is very good. With the raised bunkers and the raised mounds on the right, you can really see how the hole sort of plays out.
Well, of course, when you're doing any design work, you want that's an important factor. There's the practical side of it. There's the strategy, but there's also the landscaping and the attractive design that you put into it. It's something that Mackenzie said many years ago when he built Cypress Point. A lot of his work was being criticised prior to that. He went to Cypress Point expecting a lot of criticism of the golf course because his designs in those days were considered to be quite radical with the undulations he put in the course.
Yep.
But he said it was because of the beauty of the site.
Yep.
He felt that it overcome any of the other criticism that might have taken place.
Fantastic.
It made people feel better about the place.
Yep. Yep.
So it's important to make your designs look really attractive and fit with the environment.
Yep.
With the bunkers, we've tried to leave the bunkers with a fairly natural sort of look. I hate to see the formal symmetrical lines to the bunkers on any golf course.
Yep.
And so my work has always been about trying to replicate some of the sandbelt work, but even some of that work has been formalised and shouldn't have been. Yep. So to keep them as natural looking as possible, and coming back to what Mackenzie had in what he was doing, he was creating all these jagged edges on bunkers in the old days. Yep. That all got formalised. People didn't realise why his work was so well regarded, and that was part of it. They went in and they changed all the shapes by formalising.
Okay,
I hope that doesn't happen here.
Yeah. So we'll go down in a minute and have a look at the 14th green and the bunkers, and you'll be able to give us a close-up view of exactly what you're meaning about formalising the bunkers and why we don't want to do that, and keeping the jagged edges, which would be great.
Okay.
Let's pop down to the 14th green and we'll have a closer look there, and Graeme can give us his ideas around the green.
Okay. I mentioned that the average player had the opportunity to run the ball in. We're standing on the slope, running the ball in from the left, which is what I didn't mention. staying away from the bunker. If you don't have the capacity to carry the bunker, you can stay away from it, land the ball short and have the slope feed the ball onto the front of the green. And if it does that and you do it at the right, you've hit the shot with the right weight, then it'll finish in a really good spot on the green to have an uphill putt to the back right. But if the pin's on the front left, then you're going to be in position to make an easy par or possibly a birdie. But as I said, if that shot that lands at the front of the green is hit too strongly, or it's hit too far to the left, there are problems around the green with the hollows and undulations.
So here we are in the bunker of the 14th green, just beside the 14th green. Graeme, you explained before the jagged edges. Take us through your philosophy on the bunker.
Well, the philosophy that I have with these bunkers is that the edges should look like an eroded creek bank. At the moment they don't look quite like that because it's quite new.
Yep. But
when it's allowed to grow, and those even the little jagged, what appear to be jagged edges now, still have some formality to them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're allowed to grow, and you carefully trim them, so you're not trimming soil away, they eventually, the wind and the weather eventually make them look like they did. Like the edges did before the turf was laid.
So like a really natural
as possible. Yep. And if you look at where bunkers came from, that's what you see. You see yep. natural types of work. The early designers, referring back to them again, they tried to mimic that, but things got formalised because we, as human beings, tend to want to see things in a formal and symmetrical way.
Yep.
We have an urge to see it like that.
Yep.
And I hope that we don't lose that here, because when it's allowed to grow and look natural, it looks, in my view, it looks far better.
Yep.
And will be quite a feature of the golf course.
There's a lot of strategy about this hole, as you mentioned before. If you go left, you've got an uphill chip shot or an uphill putt to a pin, but if you do decide to tack the pin to the right, you've got to tend with these two bunkers and basically a downhill shot potentially from this back bunker.
Yes, we've got, well, if the green is set up so that anybody that does, because it's on a diagonal angle, you haven't got the length of the green to aim at. But
yep.
we've got what you would call almost a check mound or return mound mm-hmm. at the back of the green. So
yep.
the people that carry the bunker are given some sort of respite because
sure.
of the way the slopes are on the back of the green.
Yep. Yep.
But of course that shot to carry the bunker is the most difficult.
Yep.
But we've given them some, as I said, respite.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
And over the back, which we'll have a look at later, there is big swales. So again, if you go too strong into the swales, it makes it quite challenging.
If you select the right club but pull it,
yep.
then because of the diagonal nature of the green, you're going to be faced with a chip shot from a metre below the green,
mm-hmm.
and that's
yep.
going to be difficult to get it up and down. But I think that's worthwhile, because you can, if you don't want to carry the bunker,
yep.
you're not accurate enough, you can play to the
yep.
front of the green and have it feed towards the right.
Yeah, which is great. It's a hole with plenty of options to play, which is important. Yep. Here we are on the 15th fairway, just in front of the new bunker complex. Graeme, we've got 3 new bunkers here on the 15th fairway. Can you take us through what your philosophies is in regards to off the tee, and also?
Well, look, Matt, the bunkers are positioned far enough out from the tee to be challenging the better players rather than the average players. And I've set it up so that if they want to get a really short shot to the green, which most of the young blokes will do, they'll take new bunkers
yep.
on. They can take the 2 on the right with a carry of about 230 metres, I think
yep.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's open to them. They'll be encouraged to do that. But
yep.
if they do pull it, they'll be encouraged to do it because of the distance. The carry distance of 230 is not that far for them.
Yep. Yes.
But if they pull the ball, they're going to be faced with a shot out of that bunker.
Yeah. So
we've left it purposely open through the centre of the fairway,
mm-hmm.
so that the average player has an avenue to get through.
To run it up. Yep.
The single figure marker that hits at about 220 metres, he's going to play up short of the bunkers and be faced with a shot of about 135 or 140 metres. But if they want to go a little closer, they take the risk of getting into the short one, or like if they want to take a little closer to the further one, they take the risk of getting into the short one from the push shot.
Yeah, because you've got plenty of room out to the left here
if you want to call it what it is, it's a bailout area, I suppose. Yeah. It's not the best angle at the green. The best angle at the green is from the right-hand side. So if they think about their shot, they can place it short of the bunkers and have a shot to a green that's tilted from left to right and actually hit into the slope. If they play out to the right and avoid all the trouble off the drive, they're faced with a much more difficult shot to the green, where they have to be much more precise in the way they play their shot. Hitting it close to the left bunker at the green in order to get it to feed towards the centre of the green.
Which is the characteristics of a good hole, isn't it? If you want to play safe, you've got a difficult shot for your second one. If you want to bring in some risk, you're going to get yourself a better option going into the green.
That's exactly how it's been set.
Down just in front of the 15th green, Graeme, we've got now some undulations in the fairway. What prompted that?
Matt, the work that we've done over the past 4 or 5 years has all been predicated on trying to improve the drainage on the course. And 15, as Adam just said, 15 was one of the worst areas. The 15th approach and the left-hand side of the green was one of the worst areas on the golf course. 3 years ago, I think it was, we were going to just do the drainage on the fairway. But as we got closer to the green, it was the same as 8. It got worse and worse, and so I suggested to the club that the only way we could fix it properly was to do the green, or the contouring around the green, so that we could direct our water to where we wanted it and make it blend with the green.
So these mounds are the natural drainage that focus the water down to an area where we can get it right.
The idea of the drainage is to create swales where the water can be taken to in a fairly rapid way. The undulations do that, and from the swales, the water gets away quite quickly. In some cases, it might be surface water that's taken away with pits.
Okay, here we are on the fringe of the 15th green. Graeme, take us through the green.
Matt, as with the 14th, we've left the approach very open. But it still requires a precise shot to get it onto the green and get it near the pin. The shots that are, if you land it on the front edge of the green, the ball is going to feed to the right and into the centre of the green. If you're running it up, you'll have to hit it on the approach in the right spot. Otherwise, it can feed both ways, and you're faced with a chip and run to get it onto the green. I think that's reasonable on a hole of this length. Just make sure that if you are going to run it in, you pick your spot and you hit your shot correctly. The back of the green is a little different. It's designed to take the shot from the right side, hitting into the slope. Over the little swale that we put on the front right of the green. It's separated the green into two, I guess, distinct areas, and the pin either at the front of the green or the back of the green will create quite a challenge on the hole.
Here we are on the 16th fairway. Graeme's going to take us through the new bunker complex and the widening of the fairway on the 16th.
Okay, Matt, the bunkers have been set up to challenge the drive bunkers have been set up to challenge the long hitter. The young blokes that want to try and get home in two will now have to place their drive really accurately, or some of them might consider taking the carry on the right-hand side. The best angle of approach is from the right, and that's what they'll be aiming for. The left-hand side of the fairway has been left open on purpose so that every golfer, regardless of their ability, can play down the full length of the hole without having to negotiate a bunker. Or they can play short of the bunkers. The bunkers don't start until we reach 230, 235 metres off the tee. So everybody's given an opportunity on the hole, and the hole becomes a little more challenging for the long hitter. It was a difficult hole and it is a difficult hole to give it some sort of integrity because of the length. As a par 5 at 451 metres, it's very short. So the bunkers, I guess it's short for the long hitters. It's more a par 4 for them. So they have to do something a bit more special than they did before in order to get it on the green and make 4. the shorter hitter, the average player, even the single figure marker that doesn't hit a long way, his trouble is going to start when he gets near the green. So his fairway is left open at the fairway, at the driving end, and then he's got to deal with the undulations and the bunkers at the green.
We've actually pushed the fairway left a little bit around the bunkers to give it a bit more room.
The fairway has been opened up on the left side because there's no, it can be as wide as you like on the left side. That's not the place from which to attack the green. So we let them play down the left, not put anything in their way, and then they can deal with the second shot, trying to work out what they have to do from there, but they can stand and hit a reasonable shot to the approach.
So here we are standing about 50 metres short of the 16th green, which has been changed from the old green. Graeme, take us through the bunker complexes in the green on the 16th.
Okay, as you said, we've changed it quite dramatically. It's a 451 metre par 5. Before we had a green that was as big as Texas and really didn't suit the hole. Didn't provide the same challenge, the challenge that I felt was necessary on a hole of this length. So we made the green almost half the size of the other green, and we've put a lot of undulation around the green and some bunkers, one on the right and one on the direct line to the green on the approach. Any bunker that's placed on a direct line to the green will always cause a little bit of controversy, and I believe there has been some already, but there is ample room down the right-hand side if you think about the way to play the hole. The players that want to try and get home in two, I feel, have to have some sort of special challenge, and part of that is at the trees they have to hit it over, but then the bunker. And if they don't get it over the trees, not quite to the green, if they're faced with a long bunker shot, that could make it hard for them to make a par. So and then again, the way we've structured it with the undulations around the green makes it flow and blend really well with the good undulations that are through the golf course already. If you stand on the 16th fairway and look at the beautiful undulations that were originally here, we've tried to blend with all that, even with our mound work on the right-hand side to block out the 17th tee. Everything is flowing and gently blending into the good parts of Kew before we started this work.
And the play here around the bunker, if you don't want to take the bunker into play, is the right-hand side, not the left?
It's up to the players themselves to choose what to do. And we've given them, most of the room is down the right. And that's where I think most players will attempt to hit their second shot. And if they do that, and they don't go too long, they can hit a chip and run up the bank of the green and onto the green. If they go a little too long, they're going to have to hit it over the bunker that's in front.
And the green runs from back to front?
The green has got two slopes on it. It's running from back to front and a little bit to the right side, taking water off, and then it's split in the middle and water comes off towards the front.
So playing a chip shot from the right-hand side, you're actually playing up the green. So
yes, you are. And even from I think it's, from my way of thinking, it's going to be it's probably an easier shot to run it down the left side and chip it up onto the green. Than have to take the odds to the bunker on the right-hand side of the green.
Right.
But the left side is the most difficult to get to.
Yes. On behalf of the golf club, I just wanted to thank Graeme. It's going to make for some fascinating viewing, and it's great to see the philosophy gone into each of the hole designs. So on behalf of you, Graeme, thank you for your